All right. And this is a warning, right? And y'all gonna start to see more of this, unfortunately, because God sent his people to warn. The grace period is running out for a lot of people. What we saw with Angie Stone, how you get on a bus with nine people? And I don't have all the statistics and all that. 9 people, and you the only one that perished. Oh, baby. And you just you bow down to Zeta. Oh, see, the grace period is running out for people.
Phylicia Rashad has finally broken her silence, and her words have left fans completely speechless. After years of mystery surrounding the final days of Malcolm Jamal Warner, the truth is finally coming out, and it's heavier than anyone imagined. Phylicia, who played his on-screen mother on The Cosby Show, revealed intimate details about Malcolm's final moments that no one was prepared to hear when the news of Malcolm's sudden passing hit the media.
How has the music industry changed from when you first started to where it is right now?
Each generation is bringing something new. When we started, there was no social media. It was just hard work, live shows, getting out there and putting the pedal to the metal.
People were confused and heartbroken. The headlines described it as a tragic drowning accident, but something about the story didn't sit right with those who truly knew him. Malcolm wasn't just an actor. He was a creator, a father, a deeply thoughtful man. The idea that his life ended so abruptly, without warning, just didn't add up. Now, with Phylicia's emotional confession, pieces of the puzzle are slowly starting to come together. She shared that Malcolm had been acting very different in the weeks leading up to his death.
Right now, the only thing that they putting out is stuff that is self-genocide, killing the people.
According to her, their final conversations were full of deep emotion, hidden fears, and quiet warnings that only now make sense. She said he hinted at something weighing heavily on his mind, something he never fully explained, but enough to suggest he might have known his end was near. Phylicia didn't want to speak earlier out of respect, but she could no longer carry the weight of what she knew. With tears in her eyes, she opened up in an interview, describing Malcolm's strange behavior before his passing. She said he had become quiet, distant, and much more reflective than usual. He wasn't attending events. He wasn't answering calls like he used to. Even his social media went dark and private. Malcolm admitted to her that he was feeling unsafe and unsettled. She asked him directly what was going on, but he just shook his head and said,
out of it, and I was holding her hand and she was wobbling around, and I said, baby, you gotta sit down. And then the next thing I know, I flew and I fell down to the ground, and it felt like something not ran over me but brushed over me. Like something just swiped over my body, and I got up and I could hear screaming.
"There are things I can't fix anymore." She didn't understand what he meant at the time, but now she believes he was saying goodbye in his own way. Friends who saw Malcolm in his final days also noticed a change. He was no longer the upbeat, playful man they knew. He still smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. He seemed lost in thought, constantly looking over his shoulder, almost as if something or someone was following him. His final public appearance, just days before the tragedy, showed a man who was clearly struggling with something inside. He spoke softly, moved slower, and didn't stay long. Fans watching the footage later said he looked like he was carrying a heavy burden. Now, rumors are swirling. Did Malcolm have a medical issue he kept hidden from the world?
I grew up together. We were children. We went on the choir together. She introduced me to her church choir, and I went there with her. And we would go down to Concora House and eat dinner after church. In the neighborhood, we would come together and we would just do our little thing. Now, y'all know what young people do.
Was he under pressure from someone? Did he know he was in danger? Or was he dealing with something emotionally heavy that pushed him toward isolation? Felicia remembers one particular conversation that chills her to this day. She recalled Malcolm saying, "When it's my time, I hope the world remembers more than my character. I want them to remember my heart." At the time, it seemed like a deep statement. Looking back now, it feels like a farewell, even more disturbing. Malcolm reportedly sent a final message to someone close to him, a short but emotional text that read, "Thank you for loving me when I didn't know how to love myself." That person never shared who they were, but they said it felt like he was saying goodbye. So why has the rest of the Cosby Show cast stayed silent? That question continues to hang in the air. Several cast members have not spoken publicly about his passing, and while that could be out of grief, some fans think there's more to the silence. A few online communities believe the cast might know something they aren't ready to reveal. Some think Malcolm may have shared private concerns with more than just Felicia, and others are afraid the truth might be too painful to face. Whatever the case, Felicia's courage to speak out has reopened a conversation about Malcolm's life, struggles, and legacy. Her words painted a picture of a man quietly wrestling with inner turmoil, someone who, while still trying to give joy to the world, was hiding hurt that no one could see. Malcolm Jamal Warner wasn't just Theo from The Cosby Show. He was a complex, intelligent, and talented human being. He played music. He wrote poetry. He supported causes he believed in. He mentored young actors. He wasn't interested in fame, he cared about meaning. He wanted his work to matter. That's what makes this story even more heartbreaking. Felicia revealed that Malcolm had been talking a lot about the idea of letting go. She thought he was referring to past mistakes or maybe old friendships, but now she believes it was much more serious. He said to me, "Sometimes you have to leave the stage before the lights go out." Felicia shared, "I thought he meant retiring, but now I think he meant something else entirely." In light of these revelations, fans are rewatching old interviews and searching for clues they might have missed. A podcast episode he recorded just a month before he died has suddenly gone viral. In it, Malcolm discussed the pressure of always being seen as the good one and how difficult it was to live up to everyone's expectations. He talked about the loneliness that comes with fame and how being strong for others often meant hiding his own pain. "I've always felt like I had to be okay," he said, "even when I wasn't." Now, that statement feels like a scream for help. It's not just fans who are affected by Felicia's confession. Celebrities across Hollywood are now paying tribute to Malcolm's memory in more emotional ways. Former co-stars have started sharing private stories and behind-the-scenes moments that show just how deep his heart truly was. One actor from a guest appearance recalled how Malcolm stayed late after shooting just to comfort a crew member who had been having a tough day. "He didn't have to do that," the actor said. But that's who Malcolm was. Social media has become a tribute wall. Fans are sharing their favorite Theo moments, clips of his poetry readings, and quotes from his interviews. Many are now calling for a documentary that tells the real story of Malcolm Jamal Warner, not just the character he played, but the man he truly was. Some even want to rename a theater or acting school after him to honor the legacy he left behind. But perhaps the most touching reaction has come from those who didn't even know him personally. People are opening up about how Malcolm helped them through tough times, simply by being a kind and steady presence on screen. Others say they saw themselves in his characters and that his performances made them feel less alone. All of this attention has reminded people that fame doesn't protect anyone from sadness. Even someone as respected and admired as Malcolm can be carrying a load heavy for words, and Felicia's message is clear. Check on your friends. Listen closely. Don't wait to speak your heart. You never know what someone is going through, even if they seem fine on the outside. As for Malcolm, Felicia says she believes he found peace. Whatever was haunting him, she said, he's free now. I just wish he hadn't felt so alone while he was here. She ended her interview with one final thought that has stayed with fans. He may be gone, but his love, his kindness, and his soul that lives forever. In a world that often forgets to slow down and see people for who they really are, Malcolm's story serves as a powerful reminder to look deeper, listen more closely, and cherish the time we have with those who matter. His passing may still be wrapped in questions, but one thing is certain: Malcolm Jamal Warner's spirit, his wisdom, and his light are not gone. They're still here, echoing in every memory, every laugh, and every heart he touched. And perhaps that's what he meant when he said, "Remember my heart." So as we remember a man who gave us so much joy, we also reflect on the silent pain he carried. And we promise not to forget not just the character, but the soul behind the smile. Rest peacefully. Malcolm, you are seen, you are loved, and your story will continue to be told not as a mystery, but as a legacy of strength, talent, and quiet bravery. Thanks for watching. If this story touched you the way it touched us, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Malcolm Jamal Warner's legacy deserves to be remembered not just for the roles he played, but for the heart he shared. Drop a comment below with your favorite memory or moment that made you feel connected to him. Let's continue honoring his life by keeping his message alive. And don't forget, check on your loved ones. Listen closely and never take a single moment for granted. More stories like this are coming, so stay tuned. We'll see you in the next video.